This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
I heard a story, I don't know if it's true.
It's
but
true.
Okay. There's a story I heard that you and Clint Eastwood both got started around the same time and that you were both fired from Universal Pictures on the same day.
That's true.
As young guys getting started out because they found fault with both of you. Why would they fire you, Clint Eastwood, or you? I mean...
Well, Clint, they said, you talk too slow, and your tooth is chipped, and you won't get it fixed. Mm-hmm. And you don't listen to anybody. You just want to do things your own way. Mm-hmm. And I said, why are you firing me? And they said, you can't act.
That's such a crazy story, you guys getting fired on the same day.
And we're walking to his truck, afterwards. And I said, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble. And he said, why? And I said, I can learn to act. You'll never get rid of that Adam's apple. And it did hold him back. You can
Yeah.
tell.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy, whatever happened.
We mixed, we loaded, we edited.
Sometimes we get so deep into conversation that we have separate segments worthy of their own place in the sun.
Here is a reshuffled mini episode.
And welcome aboard for a big exclusive episode. So exclusive that we got multiple guests. We got Jeff Rhodes from Unapologetically Stupid. How are you?
Pretty good. Glad to be here.
Alrighty, we got Sean Phillips from Guys at the Movies. And then we got the film strips and football expert Jay.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Anytime. And then we got Will Styer, the geek with the clip-ons.
Either way.
Alrighty, so but just casual, like always. Just Jeff, what was your intro to Clint Eastwood?
My intro to Clint Eastwood. I found him late in life. I actually thought he was dead. I learned that he is not. I used to get him and Paul Newman mixed up. So
that's fair. They were both Warner Brothers handsome guys who were.
So I was
epics. Yeah.
I went working backwards, and then falling. I think I watched Gran Torino after that, which
nice,
one of my favorite. But yeah, American Sniper was my introduction into Clint Eastwood. So I found him very late in his career.
No, it's all good. I mean, kind of like Charles Bronson and all these other guys. I mean, it's interesting how you can't even go into a Walmart, let alone a Target, just without seeing like 10 packs,
Yeah.
Blu-ray remasters. It's like basically everything is now available now. It's like if you haven't seen it, there's no rush. It's like it's all going to be remastered in some kind of vault. And
oh yeah,
Jay.
Oh man, I'm trying to think about a time in my life when Clint Eastwood wasn't in it. I mean, my dad, a big fan of westerns and stuff, so that just fell right on me as a kid. And I know the first time I saw Clint Eastwood and was aware of him was the first time I saw The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I won't tell you what piece of media I saw that on because it doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, and after that, I was hooked. I mean, I was probably 6, and
oh wow,
I loved that. I saw the whole Man with No Name trilogy, all that, and then saw Dirty Harry way too young to really understand what that was about. But saw all of those, and it really just followed Clint his whole career. His later stuff is honestly like I like it. It's fine. I don't think about him as an actor anymore. I think the last time I saw something he was in and I thought, oh, that was a good performance is this little, I don't know, rom-com he did with Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake called Trouble with the Curve. It's this little baseball movie. And I was like, this is kind of Clint is the nice grandfather. I'm okay with this. He's also a lousy dad. He's played that role 100 times, but I liked it.
Yeah.
starred in since like '92 or something.
Yeah. And so I saw that, but I've seen so much of his stuff, and he's had such a
Did you see the Mule?
Oh,
yeah, Mule. I did see that. I wasn't a great fan of that one, but I did like Gran
that's
Torino.
fine. I'm just he's got plenty of movies that are going to all divide us as people. But it's
interesting time discussing those, and so I'll bring up some of that as we go here. But yeah, Clint's been a part of my pop culture lexicon since before I could write in cursive, which is a thing they don't teach anymore. I understand. So now I've just dated myself incredibly.
There you go. I guess they only need for signatures. I don't know. All right, Will. When the hell did your TV start airing all of Eastwood's violent cinema?
I would say, honestly, the first time I probably ever saw Clint Eastwood, something that I can recollect, was actually his uncredited cameo in the live-action Casper movie, which I saw in theaters as a kid. I was like,
"Oh my god, really?"
I was 8 or 9 when that came out.
I didn't know he had a cameo in
Casper.
I didn't know either. Jesus.
That might be one of my earliest recollections of seeing him. Now, anything quote-wise, I've heard in dozens of things. Like so many of his, like especially "Go Ahead, Make My Day" has been quoted in everything. But let's see. One of the earliest movies I saw of his all the way through was probably all $3 movies, because my dad had them on DVD, and so we just watched them one day together. I was probably 13, 14 at the time. Every Which Way But Loose was goofy fun. I particularly enjoyed Ruth Gordon as the foul-mouthed granny.
There you go.
I was like 15 or 16 when I saw that, and I pretty much couldn't resist anything that featured a primate in it. So,
I can't blame you.
It's just like, in the 70s were like prime years for primate sidekicks.
Right. It's like everything has to be a takeoff of 48 hours.
You also had a TV show. You had that BJ and the Bear show I've never seen, but I know of.
Yeah. It took me a while to actually look that up. I'm like, wow.
I know of it thanks to the internet.
It will save you on so many things.
Yeah.
All right. Sean.
So, like Clint Eastwood, I am resilient in my career.
Way to tie it back. I love it.
So when did I discover Clint Eastwood? I don't know. He's just existed in like my entire life. And I don't know what movie, but it was one of the ones where he was playing a tough guy, one of those few. And it's just like one of those situations where I know the first time I discovered him was most likely, my hypothesis is that it was a Saturday afternoon. I was a doe-eyed child, and my dad, with a beer in hand, tapped the couch and said, "Hey, take a look at this guy right here." And then like he'd shot a criminal in the face without giving him due process, and he's just like, that's living right there. And so without due process, it was one of those things where he is always just this, or was always, excuse me, he is always this tough guy. He's really this always there, and it's great because he has a sort of one note actor to him, but he can sort of play that one note everywhere. And one of the situations you get there is, he could be in a comedy where you just put him next to an ape, and he's funny, even though he is just still playing the same deal. He's still playing the same tough guy. You put him as an astronaut in Space Cowboys. Absolute masterpiece if we're going to go there. But it's hysterical of him just like delivering the same cold lines. It was interesting, though, because I always just imagined him as an actor. And I was young when I discovered, wait a minute, he also directed movies? And then it was the romantic comedy Mystic River, when I was just like, he's directing a movie and he's not in it?
Are you sure? I didn't know if that's intentionally ironic or what. Do you mean Madison Country?
For legal purposes, I will say that was ironic. That is not
that's a romance movie. I think we're all scarred.
I think originally.
Okay. Let's keep going. But
I'm sorry. I get silly. Okay. But it was when I realized, like, oh, he's sort of humble. He can direct a movie but not be in it, and that's something that a lot of actor directors do. It's not a novel choice, but it is something sort of like it was beautiful for me to see that at the first time, and then I kept on seeing it, and it's just interesting because his, like I said, his acting career is. He's one note, but he's perfect in all of his movies in that one note. He fits perfect in that puzzle piece. When it comes to directing, he's got highs and he's got lows. And those highs are some of the greatest highs we can see in American filmmaking. And those lows are Jersey Boys. But
I've actually never seen Jersey Boys, so
you are very lucky.
Musical movie. I don't know if it was a movie.
I'm not sure what it was. It doesn't exist.
Does it? Sure, wasn't in our heads.
But-
All right.
But no, that's why I love him. His filmmaking is unbelievable. I still stand behind $1 Million Baby. People have said that movie hasn't aged well. I think that as a director, I like the idea of him being mysterious, meaning the lighting is completely off for him, like where you don't see the characters sometimes. And he said, yeah, audiences are smart. I don't want to do that. We don't know what's wrong with him and his daughter. We don't know what went wrong there. It's sort of just this beautiful, like, mysterious element that he puts in a lot of his movies that is, just absolutely wonderful. Really is.
I do think in that one,
like,
a bit more
sorry, go
vulnerability than in some of his usual performances.
Yeah, I mean, because you kind of
Compared to some other movies he did where he's like more just stone cold, and this one he does give off some vulnerability that is really nice. And also Hilary Swank and Morgan Freeman, of course, nail it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's an altogether just showing is like, hey, you can make a boxing movie and it doesn't have to, be a knockoff of the Rocky formula for the billionth time. It can just be its own gritty take on it. Starting off with Eastwood, I mean, it's kind of interesting because much like many actors who've had a huge career, everyone knows him from different things. Some people only know him exclusively from his 80s, 90s stuff. There's others who know him just because, he was one of the key players on the show Rawhide, and then all his 60s and 70s, war and crime films from there. I think it's interesting, though, how he's just liked by just so many generations, and whatever they do or don't, take to, they still are just like, Clint Eastwood, oh, he's a smart dude. He makes good movies. And so I think it's interesting how he kind of fits in that same mold, kind of as Burt Reynolds, Wesley Snipes, even Harrison Ford, is just being an everyday man who's, ready to take out the trash at times as well. And it's just wild because you don't, and he started directing really young also, as soon as he basically got all his power, he just basically just kept, pitching ideas and scripts, and no one was ever saying no to him. His movies were pretty much always consistently performing. If anyone can see the director's documentary series DVDs, you can get them dirt cheap or rather expensive, depending on whether it's Amazon or eBay. But he really does go into, he basically just looks for just natural kind of ways to go about it. And you hear any actor who's worked with them, they basically will ask permission for him to do things, and he's just like, nah, man, I'm going to stay in my cage, you stay in yours, you know how to act, I'm not going to tell you how to act.
He's also known for shooting quickly.
Right.
On time, like either on time or ahead of schedule, like to get things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman had some hysterical stories about working with him multiple times, and it's like they would ask him, would you like me to do it this way or that way? And he'd be like, well, if you want to waste my film, you can. I'd rather you just keep on. It's like, okay, I'm going to take that as freestyle.
Yeah.
When he's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when he wants to cut, he just goes, that's enough.
Right.
Yep.
I've looked up some of his directing. Like, I've heard stories about that because I'm like also kind of dabbling in directing and amateurs, things like that. And I've always
support all indie filmmakers.
Yeah, yep. I love me some horror films, but I've been trying to switch to like more like just normal dramas and things like that. And I did a deep dive last year into Clint Eastwood movies just before his lighting, like you mentioned earlier with his lighting in $1 Million Baby. I think his lighting in that movie was phenomenal. Like the way he did shadows on his faces, like he appears out of the shadows out of nowhere when she's like training by herself and like just gives him like it was just like really. I think he in his movies, not just $1 Million Baby, but all his movies, the way he does suspense and his lighting and things like that, I think he learned that from people like Sergio Leone or something like that, people like that.
Absolutely. Because
the suspense in like not more like the lighting, but like the suspense, the aspect in like the old Man with No Name trilogies, I definitely think he carried on that into his own movie making because, like I said earlier, American Sniper, that trailer, the suspense in that, the way the perfectly cuts it, waits out and everything. I think that's very genius the way he crafts his movies like that.
I remember he dedicated Unforgiven to Sergio Leone and Don Siegel because that was like his last Western, and those two directed a bunch of Westerns, and they were both mentors to him.
Yeah, it shows.
Everyone else, especially with whatever they got going on, they basically got to make their own hours, and he basically, like you say, he was just watching what they were doing on set and taking his own mental notes and running with it. And I mean, it really doesn't take much to just have anyone make a good word for you, and join whatever, acting or directing division. It's just, again, just put in the time and, pick people's brains and say, hey, give me a chance. And like you say, I mean, he definitely relies on just all kinds of things. It blows one's mind to even know that he's, he composes music for his movies. So,
I didn't know that.
Very acclaimed jazz pianist. Like if you've seen In the Line of Fire, there's all those scenes when he's just dicking around on the piano or whatever.
I forgot about
and
that.
that's him.
Right.
He's just over there going, "I'll just do this for a little while," and like nobody knew to do it, and he just did it. And like everybody's going, "Holy cow, Clint! Why are you wasting your time acting?" And he's like, "This pays the bills," I mean, that's how he goes. I wanted to put a phrase around what Sean and Jeffrey were talking about though with like Clint. The thing I've always described him with is he has raw intensity, and it's also lives in like the quiet spaces, and that's the weirdest thing. Is he makes these bombastic movies, and especially some of those Leone flicks, like the music is, it's all over the place, but he works best, and I mean, you rarely see him like raise his voice at anybody. He'll growl at people, but Clint didn't have to yell at nobody. One, he's a foot taller than everybody in Hollywood, so that's natural. But again, you think about Dirty Harry, he was like 40, doing that, and he looked older, but he looked like he could still kick everybody's butt on the set, because you were going to cross that dude because he just looked at you. That squinted look. It's a thing though. But what's funny is how you can do that in a rom-com, you can do that in a drama, you can do that in a techno thriller, you can do that in a Western, and it's the same character every time, but it works because you know what? Surly is in every part of life, and Clint figured that out early.
I think so too. He just knew he had to be the anti-hero. He'd already been just kind of the good old boy, saddle up cattle and help defending homesteads on Rawhide, and it's like, okay, and now I've played all kinds of cowboys. I played American cowboys, I played the Italian, European style of, anti-heroes, villain turned protagonists. Now I'm basically play some version of a cowboy in everything I do, and I think the other difference about it is he's never the instigator. He's just kind of he's pretty much just like, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it. I'm going to fuck you up. And so It's interesting how I had to correct so many damn people. Is like, they would always do the whole, you're talking to me, De Niro from Taxi Driver. I'm like, and they would think that was Dirty Harry. I'm like, no, it's Make My Day. Or Go Ahead. Or 6 shots or only 5. And it's like, man.
I saw Dirty Harry last year for the first time. Like you said, I've been hearing that phrase, "Make My Day Punk," for most of my life. Yeah, like everything in pop culture. But I watched it in context. That scene is so much more badass, with like the full speech of like, I don't know if I shot 5 or 6 times.
It was kind of his James Bond in a way, where it's like it didn't matter if the rest of the movie wasn't good or not. It's like he had kick-ass openings in each one of them. It's like, okay,
that line
what's he going to explain this time?
What's funny about that series is he really was only ever interested in doing the first one, and he just kept getting talked back into doing the other ones as sort of a, well, I'll do that if you'll let me do this. And that was his, or like, well, I need to raise some cash for my mayoral campaign, so let me do this. And what's amazing about like the most iconic line of Dirty Harry, the "Go Ahead, Make My Day," is from the worst friggin' Dirty Harry movie, Sudden Impact. That is the crappiest movie, and it's so lazy, but that's the best scene.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that Sandra Loke, she's my girlfriend who I've had some kids with.
Oh God,
she
he
should be
did
my
that
love
woman
interest
so
in every
wrong.
other
Let's
movie.
not talk about that. Yeah,
And it
Hollywood
follows him.
politics.
It follows him into his good movies too. Because I remember my grandparents were at their lake house. We were visiting them, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw you had a VHS of Outlaw Josie Wells around for us. We decided to hit it up, but man, can Sandra just be quiet for 1 minute?" You know.
It's a different world when she's on the screen. But no, I mean that's the thing about Clint. Though, again, he can do so many things, and the stuff that he directs, that he acts in. Like I always have this question in my head. I'm like, what are you more interested in this? Do you want to give a performance, or are you just doing it because you couldn't find somebody else that would really make it work?
I think
and it's a mixed bag. I mean, it really is.
No, I think that's true. For a while in the 70s and 80s, he kind of struggles a bit. He does a lot of like it or hate it kind of movies like Tightrope and Eiger Sanction. And he was just like, well, as long as I get some creative control, I get some kind of voice, I'll do this movie.
I think that he ended up in a movie. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, I don't think I could see someone else playing Josie Wales though.
No, I agree with that.
No, hell no. I mean,
like, and some that probably was just that he decided to be the main character because maybe he couldn't get someone. But then for that case, I feel like
he understood the material. Yeah,
you know that I feel like no one else could have played that as well as he did.
And that was pretty much what Morgan Freeman had stated several times. That was his favorite movie growing up, and that's what made him instantly say yes to working with Clint.
Yeah,
and so forth. And it was just so wild because out of all the movies that you've seen that, you know, have been on the top whatever lists, that movie got destroyed at the time. I can't just see it because I would have thought they would have eaten it up like they did any other kind of Western. It's like,
because it wasn't the shoot 'em up Western. It was the dark, hard edged, more realistic thing.
Man,
and
seeking revenge on the opposite side. And it's like, man.
Reading about it, but yeah, I wasn't. And I think it did well enough. Like at least,
yeah, it made money, but it was just like destroyed.
Critically, yeah.
So, anyway, I'll let you go, Sean. Sorry about that.
Well, I was just talking about how when he acts and directs, like, does he want someone else, or does he feel like he can play the role? In 2004, he wanted to, with $1 Million Baby, he wanted to be done with being in front of the camera. And then Gran Torino comes in, and he just says, "I have to play this role," and it's like, well, actually, yeah, you kind of do. That's literally you. Yeah. Then he goes away until 2012 with Trouble with the Curve, and then of course, who can pass up the opportunity to direct yourself in the implication of 2 different threesomes in The Mule? So it just really sounds like.
Can we talk about The Mule? Can we talk about The Mule?
Let's go ahead.
Because I'm getting for the vibe from this group that you all hated The Mule.
I thought I was gonna hate it more than I actually did, but it is definitely one of those. It just EGO on the screen.
I personally enjoyed the crap out of it.
He did have some cool cast. I will give you that.
I will say that movie in one word is just adorable.
I described it like an old man with who has with superpowers. Like people, there are younger people saying he's 90 years old, allowed to drive.
Yeah. I was just
Eastwood's Breaking Bad.
It's just the fact when he's pulling up in his truck to these hard ass Mexican gangsters and just shooting the shit with them, talking about his kids. He's teaching them how to text to get the drug deals. I'm like, this is adorable. This old man, I'm used to Clint being the hard ass, like you said. Even in Gran Torino, he's the hard ass. But in The Mule, he's just this doughy-eyed old person who's just doesn't know how to. He just wants money to help his granddaughter get through college, and so he's just becomes the #1 drug smuggler in America at the time. And I was just like, what a story.
It's even wilder because I even knew Robert Lasardo. I met him at a convention. He's the guy who plays Emilio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've seen him on shows like Nip Tuck, CSI Miami, the bald tattoo guy. And it's just so wild seeing him, Noah G, all these other guys who typically played cholos in East LA.
Yeah.
It's he's talking to Andy fucking Garcia, and Garcia's like, "Are you really coming at me, man?" Fucking Gran Torino, I get to bitch slap verbally.
Oh yeah, the Mule I think is I think in a couple of years, give it time, it's gonna get that cult status following because it's just so ridiculous. It's just such a ridiculous movie. It's just a good, and like you said, the implications of him having 2 threesomes.
A true story, my ass. I can buy him being a pimp. I can't buy him being just getting pussy.
I don't know if I could buy it. Like, does he play a florist in that?
He does. He's
what you want are the knockout roses. That's what you go for.
I know the names of flowers.
I had no idea you knew everything about flowers.
Babies.
So what you want to ask yourself is, did I get 1 dozen or 2?
Common misconception about cyclists: they don't need water.
Go ahead, make me a bouquet.
Make me a bouquet.
All right, everybody, tip your waitress, and we'll be right.
I know what movie I wouldn't put on there. I already mentioned it, Madison County. I hated that movie. It was so boring. It was so long. It was. So
I promise you, no one really liked it. Like no one in the world. Yeah.
I was so mad when I watched it. I looked up. I said, "This better not have gotten any Oscar nominations." And then Meryl Streep got a nominee.
I mean, she gets nominated for like being in a Betty Crocker commercial. So come on.
I said I guess
that.
It wasn't a bad performance in that kitchen.
It felt like Streep's character was incredibly selfish.
Yeah,
she was.
The whole movie's about her committing adultery, and I'm just like,
nothing wrong with her marriage, really. Like, just that she was bored.
It's like Clint basically watched.
You know, that's when you go to Vegas for the weekend and hit up one of the Love Stuff stores, and you put a little spark back in it, babe.
I don't know if my dad did give a different performance in that. Though. Like he thought it was like a different range for him than his usual.
He does say that in the director's episode, but it's also one of those. Is like, dude, did you just watch other selfish, overlong movies like Gone with the Wind 100 times and just say, I gotta make that? And it's just like, well, that's a little too self-indulgent for us. We gotta have a little connecting to the character in some way instead of, I like you, I think I like you, let's just get together, buy movies in, but after being shitty to each other most of the movie.
Jay, could you tell me what it was again? I'm getting married in November, and what did you say? You go to Vegas?
Well,
down the line, not right out of the gate. You can't, get the fastball right out of the gate.
Do you know how to gamble?
I've been married 16 years. Trust me. She hasn't murdered me yet. Emphasis on the yet.
Yeah, but like that movie's my worst fear because I have a girlfriend, and I could consider myself like a 7. I wouldn't, but like if I just know, like, oh, I'm going off to direct a movie somewhere. Bye, honey, and some 10 walks in my door looking for a bridge. Can you help me find it? I'm just like,
don't worry, it won't be Clint Eastwood because he only does threesomes now, so you're good.
It'd be like his son Scott coming in out of nowhere.
Oh, you're screwed if it's Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Scott Eastwood would be coming in off the Texas Chainsaw 6 remake. He just made it. What the hell?
Oh wait, well, what about Tony Scott? Would be a fun combo.
That would. But yeah, no. So. Yeah, Madison not making my list. I just thought I'd throw it out there, just to say.
Either that or 11:55 to Paris.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Let's take the heroes who stopped the train taking.
He cast the real people who aren't actors.
Right.
Okay.
What a heroic decision.
And then he has Urkel. That's right. From all.
Yeah. Jameel White's in it?
Yes, as a teacher.
Oh my God. Is he any good at
this? Questionable.
Might be better than the heroes.
Term.
He didn't have much to work with, to be fair.
I've seen people play themselves for real life roles, and sometimes they do okay. But then there are times where
Feller.
need to have.
We didn't go to that for the acting. We went for the explosion. But with this one, it's just like, kill me now, kill me now. I would rather have a boring history lecture that's been told 100 times, repeated.
When I heard it was the real guys playing themselves, I'm like, oh, this probably won't turn out well because they're not actors.
They didn't even seem all that enthusiastic while promoting it on Jimmy Kimmel. I was like, okay. Still don't want to see it.
Because they probably don't really have those kind of personalities. And I'm sure they have lovely personalities at home and stuff.
Oh, they're heroes.
They can't be at Kimmel. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. They're not used to being in the limelight.
Yeah, exactly.
This was just like, they were at the right place at the right time and became heroes, but that doesn't. Yeah, they're.
I was just waiting for them to be a smartass and just say, "Can you just fuck off, Jimmy?" That's the next guy.
It's like Why did you do the movie? Because I got paid. Hey, whenever I hear an actor mention that, I'm just like, you know what? Kudos for admitting it.
I will admit, though, he could have done some other cool true life story. Maybe he could team up with Lone Survivors Marcus Luttrell and do some other kind of dangerous mission kind of movie. I don't know.
I want to say this. If you want to do an interesting study in Clint Westerns, let me give you two that do tie together pretty well. Go with 1973's High Plains Drifter, and then right after it, watch 1985's Pale Rider, because High Plains Drifter is a really intense, scary movie, and then Pale Rider is a fucking ghost story with guns and Western and the original Law and Order DA, and it's awesome, and it doesn't get talked about enough.
It's a kick-ass double feature, dude.
It really is. But I want to tell you something. The shootout at the end of Pale Rider is some of the slowest burn, intense friggin' gunplay you will see in a movie. And it is, I mean, Pale Rider, like Clint says, like, that was me trying to do Shane, but as a ghost story. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really like High Plains Drifter.
He just appears in both.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's scary. But I mean, really, like if you watch it from the lens of High Plains Drifter is the origin story of this dude that becomes the ghost of Pale Rider, it gives you a really good double feature. So if you want to get like you should watch the Man with No Name trilogy, and we already dropped Josie Wales. I'll totally ride for that movie, but those two people don't talk about enough in the Clint Western oeuvre, and they should, because High Plains Drifter and Pale Rider are totally underrated and are really good watches.
I've seen Pale Rider. I haven't seen the first one, so I'm going to have to go and watch it.
I definitely liked Pale Rider as a kid. For whatever reason, I re-saw it. It didn't strike me as much, but I still dug how Richard Kill was the town bully and Jaws from James Bond. High Plains Drifter, I will admit, I'm the only person on the planet who cannot get into that movie, but I do like the style and the damn poster, let alone the score.
Yeah, I mean, it is a mix of a lot of cool stuff, but I would say those two.
Scarecrow, Clint style.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely there. I'll give you another one that came out the same year as Dirty Harry, but is not Dirty Harry. Play Misty for me.
Oh, yeah.
That's an underrated, slow burn, like
serial killer movie.
Yeah, serial killer movie. It's
directorial debut.
It's what I call the proto-erotic thriller, too, that like ran rampant through the 80s and the 90s. It is. It's like the Joe Esterhazy wrote down a lot of notes from that shit. And so you can't convince me otherwise. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but it's got a great premise. It's for a first-time director, again, it's well shot. The mood and the atmosphere works. Yeah, Play Misty for me. You got to go for that one.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Welcome to the Better Call Daddy Show, the #1 podcast where we admit, no matter what happens, Daddy has the advice we need to fix our problems.
Introducing my dad, Mr. Wayne Friedman.
That was good. It would be nice if you could also sing a song.
What would the song be?
You love Paris in the springtime. I just made up some words to it.
I love Rena in the springtime. I love Rena in the fall.
That's right. That's good enough.
What I do is interview people of interest, share it with my dad, and get my dad's advice. My dad is my hero. Nobody's got my daddy.
Oh boy, let's go to Grandpa.
You like to be a little rebel. I tried to rein you in. I have a daughter named Rena that acts just like I did. She's got a son that is not only just like me, but it's just like her.
I'm your host, Rena Friedman Watts.
Invite your friends, subscribe, and I'm excited to take this journey with you.
Let's dive in.
She was teasing this guy with this sword, and she accidentally cut his dick.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
And then he started to enjoy it.
I started going down the phone sex rabbit hole. You've got the wankers, and they jerk off in 5 seconds, and then they're done because A, they don't want to spend money, and B, they're quick.
My stepfather had mania. If I'm yelling at one of my kids, that fear, that rigid fear.
Mom even said to me, I hope you have a kid just like you.
There are lots of people that are being bought and sold right now for profit.
If you think you're going to kill yourself, shut up and kill yourself. If you're not going to kill yourself, then shut up, smarten up, and it's all on you. The bullshit has to end.
Wow. When I was 11 years old, I was raped and molested over the course of a year.
What Jeffrey Epstein had was a sickness inside of him.
I am Evan Castrilli Carmichael. I could do anything that I believe that I can.
I'm so excited too. Let's go.
Next on Better Call Daddy with my mom and my grandpa.
Stay tuned.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up